You know, every time I open my mouth to try and talk about this game, I just laugh. It just comes out. I don't know why. Being a smug asshole about this. Yeah, look, so first of all, I'm on my iPhone today. I can't record it in the normal setting, and it'll have to wait till Tuesday for the normal video, but I wanted to get a quick one out. I couldn't wait to not touch base at all with you after what is probably our best win since, I reckon that trumps the Richmond one, definitely. The Richmond one was amazing in 2021, rather. I just realised there's 2 Richmond games. Definitely trumps last week's. But I also think that 2021 against Richmond, where JK kicked the last one, I've been saying that that's our best win, maybe since the flag, I'm not sure. But I think this one probably does transcend it for the rivalry piece. The fact that, you know, invariably, most of the shit we copped has been from Fremantle fans, which is normal. That's just part of the game. So that's so satisfying. So satisfying. I'm so happy. You know, I was having a conversation with my sister about this, and I was telling her about it, and we always talk about our lines of work. You know, she's an entrepreneur. Well, she's got a small business, I suppose. That's probably yeah, she's entrepreneurial in general. So we talk about a lot of this stuff. And you know, she was like, "Oh wow, this is really good for content. This would be great for views," and that is true. But I didn't even think of that. I am just so happy. This is such a good day for the club. Such a good win. Such a good win. Historically, it's not an amazing day for the club, but just like in recent times, we all know the story. And this is, yeah, levels better than the Richmond game as well. So for me, I got absolutely written off last night, I'm not going to lie, out here in the States. And I am, you know, may have thrown up in a taxi. That's not completely pertinent, but slept about 4 hours. My spidey senses were tingling. I decided to wake up for whatever reason at 7 a.m., check the score, and I'm trying to remember exactly what the score was. I think it was halftime. I think it was 58-21. So I've only seen the second half. I've watched back the highlights a few times. And so by the time we do the actual review, I'll get stuck into the more analytical stuff from the full game. But my God, who saw that coming? I'm sure there were some Eagles fans who saw that coming, but you know, it was 37 points. At one point, it was 64. It might have, yeah, start of the last three-quarter time, I think it was 64 points. How good. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We scored 100 points for the second time in a row for the first time since 2018. Just so many boxes ticked, and wow, what to analyse. Harley Reid is amazing. Amazing. You know, I think there's a lot of been said about him, and rightfully so. What he's doing is crazy. But, you know, I'd probably bristle a little bit at anyone suggesting he's the reason we've come good. I think Kane Cornes lazily kind of phrased it that way. I mean, I don't mind Kane Cornes. It's not a real shot, but there's been a bit of a suggestion that, you know, it's Harley Reid dragging us up, whereas it's kind of a bit of both. You know, I think he's probably top 6 player at the club right now, like on the first 5 rounds, regardless. But yeah, I think he's able to do what he's doing partially, not completely, but partially, because a lot of the senior boys are lifting. So some of the boys I noticed in particular, I mean, Yo, unbelievable. Oh, he's got to be you'd lock him in for the rolling All-Australian team if you know, there was such a thing. You got to put him in the midfield. He's been unreal this whole season, the losses included. You know, McGovern's been huge. I didn't really notice him last night. I thought TB had his best game for the year in the second half. That's all I've seen. I thought Hoff looked really good. Even Duggan did some good things. And Ryan Marrick also. I don't know how many touches he got, but I feel like his second half, and Darling as well. There's so much to go through, and I will do a better job of that. But these are just like top of minds. I'm not even going to edit this video. It's all literally just coming out as is. So, unreal. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling as well, because that's the joy of this. God, the amount of Fremantle fans that are giving me shit. But what else will say? I know keep a spot open in my heart for Fremantle fans that have been part of this channel and supported it, and generally just been good people. I appreciate you, and commiserations on the loss, but you can understand why this is such an amazing day. It kind of reminded me of 2021 when, you know, Freo beat us. It was a streak breaking win that they had. And, you know, I was sickened, disgusted, but I do remember having a brief feeling of when the siren going and watching up the stadium and all the crowd rise because of how much that derby meant in terms of turning of the tide. There was a small part of me that thought it was beautiful for about a second, and then I was disgusted again. But one thing I will say is I think we had that moment for us, whether or not it's a turning of the tide in terms of, you know, parity between Fremantle and West Coast. I'm not making that claim, but it was just the same sort of emotion when the siren went. And so good. Lost for words. I've been a dick on social media. I've been all over the place. Well, mostly Druzy, actually. You know, I don't know if you've seen the stories, but he gave me so much grief in the preseason, and now I didn't expect it to blow up in his face so much. What I will say for Drew is I'd give him a hard time right now. Great guy, great content creator. Go check out his stuff. And he's been a good sport about this, to his credit as well. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still be a dick about it a little bit more. I think I've got it out of my system. If you follow me on Instagram, at TrueFootyAFL, put up a few obnoxious posts, and felt great doing it. Really good. Perfect hangover cure, by the way. Wow. Derby win. Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's out of my system, and now it's just going to pop out every now and then with smart ass comments like, the amount of people that wrote us off. And it's okay to write us off to some extent. Like, we're not going to play finals. Well, whether we can or not, I still think not, but we're not even really approaching that conversation yet. But, you know, I think we just have to assess it on what we've seen this year, and I think this has been building for a while. You know, even off the back of last week, I didn't expect us to be 64 points up at three-quarter time in the Derby against a Fremantle side who has looked pretty good this year. Unquestionably, their worst performance of the year. Unquestionably, Richmond's worst performance of the year last week. But that's not to take any credit away from us, because we didn't let them play their style. I didn't even mention Jake Waterman. I've been talking about him all year. Probably our second best player now, I reckon. You know, if you're ranking it by who's contributed the most this year, I still think Yo, Waterman, and Gov are the three for me. I think Waterman's now pipped Kelly. Actually, yeah, no, that's right. I had Kelly 4. So Waterman into second over Gov. He's been sensational. So I'll give you much better thoughts, but I had to get this out. I've been holding it in all morning. It was so funny. Like, I had to get up and look after the kids. I was babysitting. So I got up at like 8:50, no sleep really, straight after this game, and I was in such a good mood. I was such an engaged uncle, because this positive film has been placed all over my day, and I'm still hungover as balls. But my God, this footy club's got me feeling real good again. Big win. As for what comes next, like I said, there'll be more content this week, 100%. But it's actually hard to answer now. You know, I thought the Richmond game in isolation, we were like, probably should have won that. I'm glad we rose to the test and we won that. Fremantle, I respect, is a good side. You know, I think my estimations of them only rose despite the 2 losses. It was actually because of the 2 losses and the way they played that made me think, you know, maybe they could play finals this year. So now we trounced them, and we're building confidence and getting better. You know, who knows? I don't really know what could happen this year. I still think finals probably is a massive stretch, but, you know, I've been playing us down somewhat. Yeah, I've been playing us down this year, whilst also not being too critical on them. And they have rising the bar, slow and steady. And that doesn't mean there's going to be, you know, there's not going to be games this year where we're just horrendous. I still think that's going to happen. And I think this Gold Coast game is tricky. It's tricky. As much as I want to tip us, we'll see. But anyway, I just want to touch base with you guys. Yeah, I know this isn't the best quality, but this couldn't wait. So I hope you understand. Let me know in the comments what your takeaways from this game are. I'm still learning about the game, you know, in a sense. I didn't have the best perspective on it, other than just being stoked. So well done to the boys. For our fans, commiserations again. Thank you for supporting this channel, and I'm not going to be a dick about it anymore. Really, my being a dick factor is really proportionate to how much people gave me shit. So that's all it is. Nothing really against the club or the fans, the good people. So yeah, for instance, Joycey hasn't copped it at all. So thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.